Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my 23-week pregnancy update. So I can say that time has really started to fly. I'm doing this update a little bit late because it's now Thursday, so technically I'm 24 weeks and 2 days. But when I would normally film on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Tuesday was a holiday here, so I was out all day, and then Wednesday, yesterday, I was grocery shopping, and time kind of got away. So here we are today. So for new symptoms that I'll start off with this week, I would say the really main and only one that I really noticed that was different was just being really tired this week. So it's been a while, probably since the first trimester, since I've been really tired. And so when I was going back on my notes for the week, like I really noticed that I kept putting like fatigue, exhaustion almost every day. And like last Thursday, I was on the couch sleeping at like 10:30 p.m., which is early for me because I usually don't go to bed until like at least 11:30. And I think I went to bed at that point actually because I was like, you know what? I think I woke up at like 10:50 and I was like, I've been sleeping for the last 20 minutes and I was reading a book before that, but then I was like, I'm not like going to be doing anything except sleeping, so I think I'll go to bed. But and like Saturday I had done a bunch of baking. And I ended up being in the kitchen like all afternoon because I baked scones and then cookies. And by the time I finished those and cleaned up, it was time to make dinner. And then basically I was in the kitchen from 3:30 until 10. And I was absolutely exhausted the next day. And, you know, I just kept finding like I was more tired. And then on Monday, I actually did a weight workout and like 15 minutes, and it was kind of the last one of my like normal workouts that I had already eliminated like the last 10 minutes from, but it didn't really feel right to do it anymore. So I thought, okay, you know what? I think that if I want to do anything else other than yoga, I think I will just go for a walk from now on. So that was something. And then on Tuesday, we had a picnic because it was a holiday, right? And so we walked for like an hour after the picnic. And actually, I have to say that was not, that was, I think, an appropriate amount of time to exercise. I mean, I was feeling it kind of heavily when we were going up like hills because where I live, there's like a lot of hills. It was okay, and I would just stop every now and then and try to catch my breath, more often than I typically would, but I think that was appropriate. And then, but like yesterday I woke up tired, and then today I was tired, but it was because I didn't sleep well yesterday. But that's kind of more into the 24 weeks. So just to stick with the 23, yeah, fatigue, definitely. The only other thing really for kind of symptoms and notes for the week was that last Thursday I had my blood drawn. And like basically you go to the hospital, but you can reserve a time. And I had reserved the time at like 8:06, and so I got there, except when there was the whole virus in full swing, they were really good on timing because the hospital was like basically empty. Whereas now it started to really pile up again, like the waiting room for the blood tests. And unfortunately, they were like a good 15 minutes late doing them. And I was already hungry. Like I had woken up at about 7, I think a bit before 7, but by 7 I was like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh no, already. And basically my husband had told me before because it had happened on the draw that they had done for me back in like February when they took like 4 vials, because it was like the first like big checkup, and I had felt like faint, like I was really close to fainting that day. And so after that, my husband had said, you know, make sure you bring some snacks. So I always had since then, also because I was never sure that the bar, like they call it bar here, but it's like the cafe basically, was open, just with everything going on. But it always was, and so I didn't bring it this time. But I also didn't think that there was going to be any issues like waiting, right? Unfortunately, even if I had brought food, it wouldn't have helped me, because I started feeling faint like before they even took my blood, unfortunately. So when I was like, you have to kind of wait. First you get in there and you wait for your number to be called, and then you go up to like the cash desk and you hand in your documents, and if you need to, you pay or whatever. They give you the stickers, right, for your vials, and then you have to like wait in line again. And there was like a ton of people there, and I started feeling really hot. I got like hot flash, which I know that's the symptom. I had that happen to me in February, and I just started feeling really like faint, right? Because I was low on blood sugar, and my doctor had said after that, she's like, yeah, because when you're pregnant, your blood pressure drops. So then they called up, like, okay, whoever's ready. And so I went up, and they luckily only had to take like, I think it was 2 vials or something, which was good considering like how faint I was feeling. But like, I honestly was like I don't care, like just poke me, because I need to eat something. Like, I'm so hungry, I'm not feeling well, right? And my husband was like, well, did you say something to them? I was like, no, I mean, they were fast, but like I couldn't get over to the bar fast enough. In fact, then there was a line also there, and I had to like like crouch on the floor, because I wasn't well, right? Crouch on the floor while I was waiting in line. And luckily it actually helped that pass a bit, like enough to the point where I was able to like, okay, continue in line. When they moved, the line moved, and I was able to like stand up for the rest of it and order my like breakfast and eat, and I was okay. But that was rough. And so on Monday I have my glucose test, and I am really hoping that I don't have a repeat situation, because like I have heard before that, well, it's an hour, right? Like you drink the drink, and then in like 5 minutes, and then you have to wait an hour before they draw your blood. But then the lady had said on the phone the other day, like, oh, you're going to be there for 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Like if I have to wake up at like, I don't know, 6 in the morning to like be at the like, what is it, like the window where they give me the drink at 7, because I'm like the very first person, and I can't eat anything for like at least 2 hours. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous about that. I'm not nervous for the blood draw. I'm nervous that like I'm gonna be unwell. And anyway, we'll see. Hopefully, like, since it's supposed to be like a really sugary drink, that maybe will give me some energy. Because my husband had his blood drawn the other week, I think, last week, and at work, and basically, because they just do that here like once a year in certain categories of work, like by law, like the workers have to get their blood tested. Anyway, but he wasn't able that day to do breakfast in the end, to have breakfast, and the poor thing, like, you know, came home at like 12:45, and he hadn't had anything that day except some like coffee that he'd put in like extra sugar, like with just to kind of help him like not fall over, because he didn't manage to have time to eat anything. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that will be my saving grace. Like, if this drink is so sugary that It'll just give me enough to go off of in the meantime. Other things to note was I actually lost like 3 pounds last week, which is interesting from like from a couple weeks ago. Let me see. Yeah, I had lost like 2.5 pounds from 2 weeks prior. I just checked in my book. I don't know. And I actually think that, to be honest, because I've noticed that whenever I eat like cupcakes, which is rare, but I had made cupcakes for our anniversary a couple weeks ago, and that was the week that I had gained 2.5 pounds, right? And then I lost them, and I'm like, I bet that was actually like the cupcakes. So anyway, yeah, other notes for the week, how I was feeling. Aside from being tired, I did end up getting backaches again a couple days. I knew that wasn't gone. And some days I managed to sleep really well, probably because my pregnancy pillow arrived. It was not the one I ordered originally. It was a different one. The one I ordered originally, I have no idea what happened to it. It still says it's in England. Like, I don't know. Like, there is no update on that. I asked for a refund from Amazon. I have no idea. I have to write them again, actually, and be like, did I get my refund? Because, like, I can't see anything on my account that says, you know, refund emitted. But I got a different one, and it arrived in, like, a few days, and it has been wonderful sleeping on it. My husband says he really likes it too, because it keeps me on my set of bed. He was trying it out too, just to see what it was like. And yeah, basically he's like, oh, I thought you would have like your own pillow, kind of, and put yourself like kind of your legs in between the U part. And I was like, oh no, like it's like a magnet, basically, like a U shape. And I said, I suppose if it gives me neck issues, I could do that. But so far so good, honestly. So knock on wood, but it seems to be like a really good thing. Yeah, that's basically it for the symptoms and notes this week. And then just for a couple of like kind of fun milestone-y notes, I suppose I would say. On 23 weeks and 1 day, which was again last Thursday, I don't know, that was the day where everything happened. I was on the balcony and I pulled up my shirt because I could feel that the baby was awake. And for the first time, I actually saw her kick, like I saw my stomach move, so it was really cool and super amazing. And now I like to kind of see if I can like watch my stomach move if she's awake. My husband still hasn't been able to catch that yet. He hasn't been able to like see it. And then like everyone always says, I've tried to film it a couple times, and aside from like most of the time the movements are still like, they're pretty slight even if you're watching them, but like there's been a couple where like, oh, like you couldn't miss it. She always stops moving when I pull out the camera, just like everyone always says. I always find that incredible because I'm like, but how could they possibly know that I'm filming? Like, I don't know. Anyway, they're all the babies, it sounds like they're always a bit camera shy at this stage. They don't want to be filmed moving. Anyway, that's fine. Eventually, my husband will see her move. So that's it for this week. I will do the belly shot. So basically, it's like the 23 week, but we're just like a couple days into the week 24, just because I was late on filming. So okay, so here we are. I've got my nice maternity shirt on, so you can see the bump better. So I think now, like, if I'm wearing clothes that show, I think people would be pretty certain that I'm pregnant. Not, but if I'm wearing shirts that are looser, I think people still wouldn't know. It totally depends on what I'm wearing. But anyway, there we go. So just a note, basically, all I've done up to now is the pregnancy updates, because honestly we haven't done any like preparations at all for the baby, but I do have like ideas on things that I want to film coming up. Like when I start getting more baby clothes, I'd like to do like a haul for that. and kind of nursery plan thoughts and things, but since we haven't started any of that yet, I haven't really had any other material that is coming, and we are trying to really get going on starting that like within the next week, hopefully. We've got a crib offered from my husband's aunt, and my mother-in-law wants to go looking with strollers for us. What else? We want to go to IKEA too as well, like next week probably, to try and see if we can find some stuff. We're like trying to finish decorating the den and our bedroom, as well as the nursery. So trying to see if we can find any cute, even like decoration things, because that room right now is a complete like dumping ground for everything. So anyway, just to let you know that there will be other material coming up soon, once we start actually like organizing a bit more. And yeah, so if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!